thought about it. Timeout callbacks. The asynchronous global methods set timeout and set interval takes a function reference as an argument. Here, I have a very important point here. It's called a function reference. Okay, and then call back the function at a specified time. Accepting an assignment and carrying it out at the design time is a fundamental capability required for intelligent behavior. A clear awareness and mind promotes good memory and the ability to successfully execute tasks. So first, JavaScript I mentioned before, which is called a single thread, right? Can only do one thing at a time. But we do have some other features, like suppose when you click something on the browser, you can still do some other executions. You can still click others. Even the click button have not responded to anything. That is called the asynchronous part. Okay, and if we execute our code in the browser, all the click events we will see in the future are gonna be asynchronous part, and that is not a part of JavaScript language. It's actually called the web API, which browser provide to us. And also today, not today, okay, the remaining lecture we're gonna take a look at set timeout, set interval. Those APIs are not provided by JavaScript. Those APIs are provided by browser. Okay, because JavaScript is single thread, it do have the asynchronous part. We will see added in ES6 and 7. We'll see in the after midterm exam. And for these two API, actually, it's a browser give us. Okay, they are where? They are inside the window. Okay, see here, clear interval, clear timeout. And they have another two API called the set. See here, these two. They are actually the browser give us the two API. And later on, when we test inside the Node, right? Node has, we will explain later, okay? Node has a library inside the Node platform called libuv. And that's a libuv provide us, okay? Not a JavaScript itself provide us. Let's take a look at set timeout will allows you to run a function once after the interval of time. Okay, set the interval will allows you to run a function regularly with the interval between the runs. Like yesterday, the last homework, right? For Saturday, okay. That one every 1 second you print the number, right? That is set the interval can achieve. You can also write your own loop and do set timeout. Okay, let's take a look at. The syntax of set timeout is what thing. Set timeout, the first one is always the function reference. Do you know the difference between function reference and function call? Okay, let me make it very clear, okay? Because that's a very important concept you have to understand in callbacks. Okay. Function call is if I have function defined, I have these two parentheses, right? This is called a function call, right? And suppose here I have a function foo here, okay? And suppose I have another function called, I have another function for the bar. And here I ask for an argument I call f. Then I do like this way. You got me? In this spot, I have a parameter here called f, right? Then I do like this way. Then this f, when I call bar, I have to pass what? Foo. And this one will refer to this function, right? This foo here is called a function reference. Okay, because when we call bar, I put foo. But for this f, I using these two parentheses. That means that this one should be a function, right? So here, when you call bar, you have to give a function. This is called a function reference. This is called a function call, okay? Different. And as we see here, set timeout, you must give a function reference here, okay? Not to make a function, it depends, you can, okay. And this is the interval time, which is after interval time, right? This is the interval of time, okay? And this is argument 1, argument 2, if you have arguments. Now, let's take a look at the example. Set them out. First, I will show you how to use it, and later on, I will show you the theory, okay? More the asynchronous part. So here, I want to have a function. You can define a function, okay? Console.log foo. Then I'm going to do is a foo function reference. After 5, here is a millisecond. This one gonna be 5 seconds. Okay. What's gonna happen is after 5 seconds, it's gonna execute the function. Execute which function? Execute this function. Okay. Then after 5 seconds, you're gonna have see foo being printed on the console. Okay. Now let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 5, foo. Okay. Do you get this one? But now let's take a look at it here. What's gonna happen? First, we will see foo being printed immediately. Okay, because when we do set timeout, this is what thing, function call. He will immediately have the function call the foo, and after 5 seconds, gonna do what? This one by default return what? Undefined. After 5 seconds, here we'll have what thing? Here we'll have undefined here. You got me? So you're gonna have in the node, you're gonna have error. In Chrome, there's no error, okay? But it's different. It's gonna have a foo printed immediately, and after 5 seconds, here you're gonna see error. See here, foo. Then you're gonna see error. Callback must be function receive undefined. You got me? And let's go to the browser. Browser, you want to see error, okay? If I remember, I didn't test it this morning, okay? Because the browser changes. You understand me? No. Oh, still have error. Okay. So here, refuse to evaluate the string as JavaScript because it is not allowed as security. Hey, not allowed. Let me change to be this one. See if it is allowed. Okay. Why is it 4? Oh, you have 5 seconds to have foo here. Okay. But basically, they are different. Okay. When you have parentheses, not a parentheses, they're different. Do you guys understand? Okay. Good. Is it always wrong? When are the parentheses here? Suppose I have a true or false question in the exam. Say, in a set timeout, the first one should be callback, right? It can never be write code has the function call. What I mean is the first argument for the set timeout can never be a function call. Is it correct? True or false?
If you return something.
Exactly, false. Okay. Suppose I do like this way. Will it be wrong? No. It's gonna have what? This one printed immediately, and after 5 seconds, you have this one printed, right? So it depends on the code you wrote, okay? Print immediately after 5 seconds. Have this one. So not always when you have a call, you have to see what you returned, okay? Got me? Not in the exam, okay? I already give the question, so not in the exam, okay? But I see I shouldn't give the question. I can put it in my exam. So this is one. And now let's see arguments, okay? Let's see, and this one don't have any arguments here, right? Now I will have 2 parse arguments, okay? Let me have another example here. Function sum. Number 1, number 2. Console.log number 1 plus number 2. Oh, I just found another interesting. I'll show you in a minute, okay? what I want to do is, after 5 seconds, I want to sum 1 plus 2. So in this case, I have to pass a 1 here. I have to pass a 1 here, 2 here, right? But if I do like this way, we're going to have error. First, it's gonna have immediately have this sum, right? Then it's gonna have undefined reach here. Then we're gonna have error, right? So now our question is how to parse argument to here and here. And the syntax is like this way. After this, the interval time, the remaining is argument to that. Use a comma like a 2, 3, and if you pass more, the 5 gonna be what thing? Ignored. Okay. Then if we do like this way, let me comment this too. Node set timeout. You're gonna after 5 seconds, you're gonna have 5. Gonna have 5 because this one is gonna be ignored, right? And the first one will become first one, second one gonna be second one. Okay. Don't do like this way. Okay. This is how you pass argument to the function here. Question? Okay, very good. Now let me show you another thing. Okay. What's gonna happen? You are seeing nothing inside the console. Just after 5 seconds, then done. Exit. The thing is, here have another concept, which is also a bad part about callback. Because here I have to pass a callback here, right? Which is after 5 seconds, the JavaScript will call this function, right? Did we call sum by ourselves? No, because if we call, we have to have a parenthesis, right? We didn't call it. Who is calling that? The JavaScript, we can think JavaScript engine will call it, okay? So JavaScript engine call it, you have return statement to that. What JavaScript engine should do for your return statement? Suppose this sum I return number. If I have another I return string, another return array. So how JavaScript have a general like a code to handle string, array, object, you know things? You got me? So JavaScript will do what? If you have return statement, I just say ignore it, do nothing. That is callbacks, okay? Because most of the callbacks, the returned values are being ignored. There's one example we can use Amazon. Suppose you subscribe Amazon, they send you the promotion emails, right? And at the end, they will say, don't reply this email. You're gonna be ignored because if you reply, they don't know what they're gonna do for your email because we have millions of emails. Different users will have different requests, so they just simply ignore those emails. Same thing happening here. Okay. This is one more. That's it for this one. Here, pass the function, don't run it, but depends how you wrote in say hi, okay? Because if we do like this way, it's gonna immediately execute a say hi, right? The return the value gonna be the function referenced here, okay? So function call versus function binding or function reference. This one is function call. This one is called a function binding or function reference. Execute the function versus reference to the function. That's very fundamental. Especially when we have callbacks or higher order function, you definitely need to understand what is a function call, what is function reference. Okay. Canceling timeout. This yeah, we don't have a very good example to do that. I have to write some JavaScript code, which you're gonna be doing here. What's gonna happen? Let me show you, okay? I'll explain to you, okay? Okay, I'm going to have a button here. 2 button, okay. Clear timeout. If you don't know the code, it's fine. We'll introduce in the future, okay? Here, I have to show you a clear timeout. It's better to use a click button, nothing show, okay? It's better, okay? So what's gonna happen is script. Okay. I will have a button. I will have ID here called start. Don't worry, you will learn this one after midterm exam. Okay. ID. Stop. Let's so call stop. So far, you understand, right? Then the thing is, I will have this thing document. I put this part at the end. Okay. Get element by ID. This is an API, and then I'll give a start here. Then I can attach a click event. Okay. What's gonna happen is after when I click this button, it's gonna execute all the code in this function. Got me? And the same thing for this stop. When I click the stop this button in the browser bar in the browser, it's gonna every time you click, it's gonna execute the code here. Okay, so here it's not a very good. Okay, set timeout. Okay, here it's asking give a function, right? Let's give a function. Time out. You got me? Is this a function? Yeah, this one is a function. Yeah, it's an error function. Anonymous function, error function, all function. I will say after 6 seconds, you will see this one, right? And for here, let me run, execute, run, show you guys. What is 6? You have timeout, right? And now, what is the clear timeout? A call to set timeout return a timer identifier, timer ID that we can use to cancel execution. Suppose you have a set timeout started, right? But you suddenly, okay, I don't want it to start. I don't want it being executed, okay? Then you can use clear timeout to clear it. But you have to get this one, timer ID, in order to pass here to clear, okay? What's gonna happen is like this way. Here I have to have this timer ID. Let me ask you, okay? Where it work? Where it work? Okay, this one is a local variable, right? Okay. This is not a related document, the thing, okay? Just test you the scope. You got me? Because this one is a function. Function will define scope, right? This one is another function. You have to make it to be global. Then you can use it here, okay? So just now, when I click start, after 6 seconds, you're gonna have a timer out, right? Now we can do like a start, then clear. We can wait 1 minute. Not there anymore, okay? Because it only happened once, okay? You start again, then after 5 seconds, we should see. 6 seconds. You can see timeout, right? But if I click and I click here, you want to see another one, okay? That is called clear timeout, understand? Yeah.
Can you go back to the code?
Sure.
So you said for the set timeout, we have to pass the function reference, right?
This is a function reference. Yes, function reference. Take a look at here. This is function reference, right? I just pass this thing here. Okay. Good. Next one. Set interval. The difference between set interval is set time out. The register function only call once. Set interval is continue call it. Okay. Never stop until stop use the clear interval. Okay. Let's do one example and how to pass the arguments the same as the set timeout. After the timer, you pass one by one. You got me? Okay. I'll show you a example. Okay. Button ID start, same thing, okay. start. Let's add another one called what's thing? Stop, okay? Stop. Okay, and we are going to do is let me put a script here, okay? How about do it this way? When I click start, in the console you will see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Every 1 second has a one number, okay? And when I click stop, you're gonna stop. Got me? So we will do for a start. Don't forget get element by ID, okay? Which is a start, okay? Okay. Yeah. The code here is same because when I click this button, I just this part will be changed, right? We'll do what? Set interval. Okay. Let me show you another one. We just use function. Okay. Just now arrow function, right? This one is the anonymous function. Okay. Same thing. And every 1 second, right? We're gonna have what's thing? We're gonna have a counter equals 0, and we'll have a console.log counter. Yo, I can put a actually I can put a counter here, right? No need to put a global, right? I can put it here, right? Because I click, then you're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds, right? Count plus, sorry, my bad. You guys, so every 1 second is going to have every 1 second you're gonna execute this piece of code, right? You got it? Every 1 second, you're gonna execute this piece of code, and this counter is here. Unless if you don't click start, the count is gonna continue. If you click start, the count is gonna be reset to be 0. Okay. Suppose I click again. You're gonna start with 0. You have 2. Okay, because I have 2 time interval. Okay, that's why one is started with this is the original one. This is the new one I clicked. You got me? Okay. So my next task is when I click stop, I have to stop the what's the timer interval, right? How to do? You still set interval will give you an ID. You have to catch it here, timer ID, and you catch it timer ID. Okay, equals this one. Then when we click stop button, document dot get element by ID and stop. Then you still attach a click event on it and a function exactly same as you clear interval and you give a time ID. Okay. Now let's go back here. Then I stop. Then no longer print, right? You can restart again. 0, 1, 2, 3, but continue. Then you can stop again. Okay.
When you're running 2 of them,
Both
do you
like-
stop twice or it's just once?
The thing is, if I run in 2, right? Then I can do this one. 1. What? 2. Okay, stop. It only stopped the last one. The reason because when I because this time ID is a global one. This time ID is global one. The first time I click, the time ID gonna become the first time ID, right? Then I click once, this one gonna be replaced with the second one. So when I clear time interval, it only clear the second one.
It's included. So then how can we
Yes. That's a great question. That's the thing I'm going to explain to you guys. Okay, take a look at it here, guys. First, you already understand the syntax, right? Second one, now let me show you. Okay, guys. I will use the timeout to explain. Okay. Let's just use 0 delay. console.log timeout. By default, if you don't give the delay time, it's gonna be 0, which means not immediately. Okay. If I just do like this one, it's the same as this one. Okay. So now, when I execute the code, now see here, start and timeout. Okay. Even though here I give 0, right? This timeout is printed after the end. Okay. So what is actually happened is because all the timer API are actually the asynchronous part. Let me explain to you. We have to do some animation here. And unfortunately, I cannot do it. Okay. And I will show you. Look. Here, suppose no matter it's a node or browser, okay? We think we are running in the browser, okay? In a browser, Chrome, we have V8, okay? In the V8, we have a stack. Do you remember the execution context stack? Okay, we do have a heap. I don't draw it, okay? And there are something called the web APIs. Like what are web APIs? Like the one I just wrote, document dot the thing, document dot get end by ID, set timeout, set interval. Where are they? They are in window dot set timeout, right? Window dot set interval. Those are called the web APIs. What are JavaScript API? Array dot push, array dot pop. Those are JavaScript API. Understand? Okay. So here web API in the browser do have something. This is called the event loop. And it do have, actually it do have a 2 queue. These queues are called the callback queues. Okay, which means those queues, all those stored in the queue, what's gonna be stored are callbacks. What are callbacks? Functions. You know, here I have function, right? Here I have a function, right? This function are stored in the queues, okay? And we said this one, I forgot the name. Which one is for the macro? Macro is for which one? You don't remember? Okay, fine. Okay, it has two names. One is called the macro task queue, and one is called the micro task queue. But I just couldn't remember which one is for which one. Okay, but the two names. One is for all the callbacks related to suppose. Let me search. Inches. I just don't know. My God. Let's see. Okay, one is for you. Oh, okay. Okay, here. For this queue, we will introduce later, which is used for promise async await. Okay, this one we'll introduce later. Okay, we haven't talk about promise async await, and we are using this queue. This queue just now you already see called on click, right? We'll have a function, right? That one is put it here, and also the set timeout, set interval. The first argument for them is a callback function, right? It's a function, right? Those functions are gonna be registered here. Okay. Now let's take a look at how our code is being executed. Okay. You two can have a rest. We introduced the last block. Okay. They were with me. The same content. What's gonna happen? When JavaScript execute the code, I will ignore those execution context. I just push and pop, okay? And I ignore the global. Global one gonna be the last one. I just ignore it, okay? So when you have console log start, this is our output. It's gonna push this log and start here, right? And when it finish, we think it's popped out. Pop it out, then we're going to have what's thing? We are going to have a start here. And then this is also method. Then it's gonna push set timeout here. And what's gonna happen? Set timeout is not part of JavaScript. So what's going to do? JavaScript, okay, I cannot do it. Okay, I cannot do it. It's not my API. So it will do what? Okay, you are running in the browser, right? We are running. It will put a set timeout here. So no matter you wait 5 minutes or 5 seconds or 0 seconds, you must go to here. Okay, and where, suppose here I give 5 seconds, right? Where you are waiting, JavaScript will continue executing the remaining code. Okay, so even though here is 0, what's gonna happen? 0. Here, if it's 0, I have a function here, right? I have a function. This function will immediately push to this callback queue. And meanwhile, JavaScript will do the remaining code. You got me? And here we have end being printed first. And when is this function in the callback queue being called? When this one gonna be called is when your stack accepted global, okay? Accepted global when your stack is empty. So now my stack is empty, right? Because do I have other code to be run? No, then your function, this function gonna be, this event loop, we are always checking your stack. Is it empty? If it's empty, it's gonna push this function callback to here to execute. And this function is what? Is this function, right? So you're gonna have this one being pushed, then remove, and after finish, remove, and then what's the name? We have a timeout here. We have a timeout, and program exit, no more. You got it?
The set timeout will be in the queue until the other lines get executed.
Yes. Suppose here, take a look at here. Suppose here I have a loop, okay? Let I. It will wait all the synchronous code to be finished, then will execute this timeout. What?
Supposed to count the timeout?
Oh, wait for a second, okay. Let me refresh and oh no, what's your question?
Yeah, as in, if you put a timeout for 5 seconds, wait until it has done the end, and then it starts to count seconds, or it's counting 5 seconds.
Together, that's another ask. So so here, what Jeremiah asks, if I have 5 seconds here, right? And here I have lots of code, right? This 5 seconds is where, how long you wait in this location. While you are waiting here, here will continue to do the task. Okay, he want to wait you 5 seconds, do the continue. Here, this one is the minimum waiting time. You wait 5 seconds, you kind of parallel, okay? While you are waiting 5 seconds here, I will continue to do and other things, okay? And after 5 seconds, you put it here. Is here, it have a clock there. After 5 seconds, I put it here. But what about this part? Continue executing the code. Okay. So take a look at it here. Suppose I give you 5 seconds, okay? If it's after 5 seconds, I execute this piece of code, then I will see start. Then after 5 seconds, I will see end. There's numbers and timeout, right? It's not. You will see start, end, and then after 5 seconds, you will see this one. Oh yes, see, start, end, and after 5 seconds, I see this one. You got me? So the timer here doesn't control the when it's gonna be executed. And all the synchronous, this is called the synchronous code, okay? All the synchronous code are gonna be executed before the asynchronous code. What are asynchronous code? You just remember 2, 4. Set timeout, set interval, clear timeout, clear interval. That's all. So far, okay. All other code are called a synchronous code. Synchronous code, except set timeout, set interval, clear timeout, clear interval. All the code you wrote so far is a synchronous code. And a synchronous code is gonna be executed immediately. And we have what's the thing? I cannot do animation, but we do have some tools. This have a little bit error, okay? This guy had a talk on event loop, which is great. And mine is also great, okay? I will try my best, but he had this too, okay? Suppose I call start. This one may have some bug, okay? Because last time I cannot. Let me see, okay? Okay, now this time good, okay? Like sometimes they have, oh, this time is good. Like, let me show you guys. So guys, take a look here. This is the right side is mimic what I'm drawing in the browser, which has what? Which have a core stack and this web APIs. What web APIs you have seen so far? 2, set timeout, set interval, clear timeout, clear interval, right? The other one you see is on click button. Those are called the web APIs, okay? And this one is event loop. What does this event loop do? It will always checking if your core stack is empty or not. And if it's empty, and in the callback queue, if it have any function being registered, right, he will push the callback function in the callback queue to the core stack to execute. Understand? This one. And the core stack callback queue is to register all your callback queues. Okay. Now I will do like this. I will show you. Okay. You will see the animation. It's waiting here, see here. Why is waiting? You log out, end already done, okay? See here, up, then push. Like this, you got it? And in your console, let me show you the console. Let's do one more time. Yeah, my bad, console, okay. Click, let's do one more time, rerun. Okay, see start, and push here. Why is waiting 5 seconds? You can see log, end. And after 5 seconds, dun, 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 dun. So, you guys are. So while we are waiting, we can still do other things, right? Parallelly.
So it's a.
Okay.
My question was, so when we click the button earlier, so when you click twice, so there were 2 counters running.
When we click this one, you have 2 set interval running. Yes, 2. Because when I click once, this code is gonna be executed once, right? I click again, this code is gonna be executed again.
Yeah.
So you have 2 set interval.
So since it is going to execute it in the stack, I mean, it doesn't wait till one counter get executed, or like we don't have 2 threads running simultaneously.
Because you can think the set interval gonna be here, and every 1 second we just push the function, which is we just push this counter into here to execute. Just push here to execute, push here. So in the callback queue, we don't care which one you push. We just take a look at it. The first one push in the queue, the first one gonna be executed.
So the function itself going to get pushed inside, right?
This one gonna be pushed inside. And when you click once, it's not entire, okay? Only this part gonna be pushed in the callback queue. Okay, you got it? And the first, every 1 second, suppose I have 2 interval, you push one, then I push one, you push one, I push one, you push one. So that's why we interchange that. You see the data.
If the stack is not empty, even if it sits by 5 seconds are finished, it will still not.
When the stack is empty, if you don't have no more code after this end, suppose after the end, I have, see here my code, this one. After the end, I have another for loop, right? Suppose I for loop for 5 minutes, then the timeout after need to wait another 5 minutes. We need to wait for all the code I finished, okay? all the synchronous code, sorry, all the synchronous code.
Will there be any overlaps when from the web API to the stack?
It won't, because it's gonna be do one by one. And the JavaScript can.
Asking is, it says every 5 seconds it's going to push it to the stack, right? So can there be overlap when you have two web APIs?
You are talking about the racing condition, right?
Something.
JavaScript is single thread, even though on that part is single thread. So it cannot be exactly same, you know? It cannot be, because no matter what, the laptop will only do one thing at a time. So the first one reach gonna be the first one, and it's single thread. If no more question, great. We are reached the end. Okay. This one. Let's see. Okay. The asynchronous global method set timeout set interval take a function reference as argument, then the callback as callback function at a specified time. Accepting an argument and carrying it out at design time is a fundamental capability required for intelligent behavior. A clear awareness and a mind promotes good memory and ability to successful execute. For the timeout, we will see tomorrow this well, okay, and you will see an exam. You will see a question which related to timeout related to this keyword. Okay, I will show you, and we'll get a practice tomorrow. But for today's timeout, you don't have question. Do not have question. We'll combine set timeout with this keyword and have a question in the exam, and we will see explain more tomorrow. Okay, you do have a homework. Which you set interval from 2, the last question. And in the afternoon, I'm going to explain some exercise we have done so far. And I do change my mind. We won't have any question on this lecture. Okay. This lecture, I create some multiple question, and then I remove the one question which is from the layout. So there's no draw that there's no draw that thing in the exam. I just add 10 multiple choice. Then I think it's too much for you guys, so I remove. So on the Monday, Wednesday, this lecture, there's no question in the exam. Okay, but we'll go over others. Okay. Okay, so now let's do our group meditation. Then we come back at 1:45 for the exercise solution. Yeah. Who? We will explain tomorrow. Are you talking about this keyword?
No, I mean, I'm doing the set timeout inside the for loop and it's giving a different result when I use the left and one.
Oh, we'll see later, okay? I'll go to your place later, okay? Let's do meditation first. Because the bar is global, probably. Later is the local. I don't know. I'll take a look at it later. Okay. Is Aram here today? No. Because no. Dam. Thank you, Bellity. We will do 15 minutes group meditation, and now let's start. Thank you. See you guys at 1:45. Oh. Already left. Okay. Sure.
我去找中医吧。这 DBMS 哪个 A 哪个 A 加？
我们没有 A 加，
在哪里？
最高是。一个美。然后你们不要问我 A 加呀什么什么。
也不是我问
A 呀。
给你的是那些不来个去，不是我可能没有。哦，我也说过你，我也是不想知道的，但是他给我发邮件了，我不想。
然后没有人家告诉我说你要挂科语言，其他的我都不在。
邮件是鱼啊。
你就是写的里面是什么东西？
第一层都是这样，还在写到都是非常不是。
不用，到这里，你这第一个你还没有那个 execution，就是 certification， execution 的 execution。
这个吧，
你这个已经是 execution 了，你往上第一个就是问你，如果一起 after creation 的话，应该里面只有一个 B 方式，然后还有一个是画的 X 上
如果自己的话，自己要一起来的吧。
没有啊，这里不用写啊，这里不用写啊。我记得这个外写的话是 X 是 undefined，是啊，对，不等你到execution 的时候才能。
哦，你如果我这一步清不能写。
对，我只要写一个 B， 然后只要写一个 X 是 undefined 就行。我还有一个 out 是吗？然后你写一个。
你把两步一起写好，实际上是的关于要的。两个一起在或者说
你会跟我一起写，你现在跟我一起写。
你刚我在厕所，所以不然我没说跟看你，我自己干不了。那你还开玩笑呢？请别叫我。
我不知道我上面
滴的挺不好意思。这个不是那个道士。对，体力有点不太好。你找你对呀。
今天就有。当然可以上。
啊，这里是哪大还是被取消了？
是吗？没看到啊。
我这自动化的这个。哎，好看。200不是。 Seems